Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Day 2 of the NFL Draft just a few hours away, but we wanted to get in here and do a Day 2 mock draft for Chicago after a hell of a night on round 1 in which they traded up for Justin Fields. One of the best parts about the trade, other than just getting your franchise quarterback, which, again, shout out Ryan Pace. Also shout out Pace, and I think Matt Nagy as well. You kept both of your Day 2 picks. The Bears still have number 52 overall, and they have number 83 overall, which is a really, really good thing because Chicago still has some needs that they need to fill in this draft. So I feel great about the Fields trade, obviously, and I feel good heading into Day 2 of the draft for Chicago. The updated needs, offensive tackle. You'd really like to add one today, either in the second or third round. I think that is almost a must. Corner, I think that's a big need. Wide receiver as well. Get another weapon for Justin Fields on the outside. Edge rusher, defensive tackle. We'll see if those end up being targets here on Day 2. I think those top 3 needs, combination of those, is where you would like to go if you're the Chicago Bears. Now, here's an updated look at the draft picks. Obviously, you traded up for Fields with the Giants, moved up to number 11. You took him. You got both your Day 2 picks, picking at 52 tonight, 83 tonight. We'll see. Bears could trade down from one of those picks to get some extra capital because they don't have a 4th or 5th round pick, but they also have 4 6th round picks. Now, 6th round picks aren't worth a ton, but you could package 3 of those to get into the 5th round, something like that. It's definitely a possibility for Chicago. So we'll see how Ryan Pace plays this the next couple of days. But today's video will focus on the 2 Day 2 picks as we go through a 2nd and 3rd round mock draft for Chicago. By the way, I feel like I'm dreaming. Did the Bears really draft Justin Fields last night? Like, it just can't be true, right? Y for yes, N for no. If you type in, I guess I am dreaming, and I didn't witness a great trade up by Ryan Pace, because who would have seen that coming? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Did the Bears really draft Fields last night? I think they did, but I need a reminder from you guys. Get your votes in, Y for yes or N for no. And hey, I'm being told they did draft him, and guess what? We already got Justin Fields Bears jerseys available for you guys at chatsports.com/Fields1. Yes, he will wear number 1. So go to chatsports.com/Fields1. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. We've got the white jersey available. We've got the navy one. And yes, the popping on the screen firecracker orange Justin Fields jersey as well. Chatsports.com/Fields1. You got to get your JF jersey, baby. Come on. Links in the comments. It's in the description. All sizes available. Chatsports.com/Fields1. Get a Justin Fields jersey right now. All right, let's get into the picks here. Dillon Radunz, the offensive tackle out of North Dakota State at number 52 overall. There's a lot of tackles still available on Day 2, and Radunz is one of them. If you can get one of these 4 or 5 guys that's still out there, this is a great pick. He protected Trey Lance's blind side at North Dakota State, played really well at left tackle in college, had a strong Senior Bowl. I think this is good value in the 2nd round for the Bears. And, hey, you drafted your franchise quarterback. Now it's time to protect him. If you can get a guy like Dillon Radunz with your 2nd round pick, this would be awesome. This would be fantastic for the Chicago Bears. And I think there's a decent chance a guy like Radunz could still be on the board because Tevin Jenkins is still out there. Samuel Cosmi is still out there. Liam Eichenberg is out there. There are names that are still available at the offensive tackle position, and I think there's a reasonable chance that one of them will be available at 52 overall. And if they are, you're feeling great because you got your quarterback, and now you can plug and play with one of these offensive tackles with this O-line. If it's a left tackle, you can either cut or move Charles Leno to right tackle. I would cut him to save money. You're feeling good about your interior part of your offensive line. And then, you makeshift right tackle, right? Jermaine Ifedi, Alex Bars, one of those guys can hold down the fort for this year. Then maybe next year, right tackle or left tackle, depending on what tackle you draft, becomes a bigger priority. But if you can just fill one of those spots in the 2nd or in the 3rd round with a guy like Dillon Radunz, maybe it's a guy like Jalen Mayfield or Walker Little in round 3, someone like that, I think that would be a really, really, really good first couple of picks in this draft by Ryan Pace. So the North Dakota State tackle, Dillon Radunz, that's who I got in round 2. Here were some other guys on the board. There's some good players at areas of need as well. Asante Samuel Jr. out of Florida State, he was still out there. I like him a lot as a high-level nickel for Chicago. Ronnie Perkins, the Oklahoma edge rusher, I'm a big fan of him as well. Elijah Moore, the Ole Miss receiver. Didn't think he'd be on the board still. I'm a big fan of that. Also, Jabril Cox, the LSU linebacker, not a major need, but a good value here in the second round. And then Landon Dickerson, the center out of Alabama. If you're not sold on Sam Mustipher, maybe you could go in that direction. But I opted to take Dillon Radunz, the tackle out of North Dakota State, because I think it fills the biggest need, and I think it helps your franchise quarterback the most in Justin Fields. So make the pick for me, because I think all three of these guys would be good value in the second round. Type DR for Dillon Radunz, type EM for Elijah Moore, type AS for Asante Samuel Jr. I went with DR. I filled the biggest need, even though Moore and Samuel maybe are slightly better prospects overall. I'm typing my DR for Dillon Radunz, but go ahead and get your votes in. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to us here at Chicago Bears Now. We're going to continue to pump out videos every single day. Some Justin Fields hype coming your way. Don't you worry about that. We're not going anywhere. YouTube.com/Bears Now. More videos during the draft, more videos after the draft, and for the rest of the offseason into the 2021 season. We'll keep it real here on Chicago Bears Now. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. With the third-round pick for the Chicago Bears, remember Dillon Radunz in round 2. Let's go wide receiver in round 3, Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State. I think we've talked about him before. He may have been on my initial Bears mock several months back. I've watched him a lot playing college, living down here in Big 12 country, Oklahoma State, really productive player. Balled out in 2018, was getting first-round buzz in 2019. Tore his ACL that season, so he opted to go back to school. Had a pretty good senior year this year. He's more of a third-round guy probably, but I like him a lot coming out of college. He's good after the catch. He's very quick. He's got good footwork. He's not a burner, but he can win in one-on-one situations at a pretty good clip. And you work him into this offense, and hopefully, by the way, Ryan Pace is getting a deal done long-term with Allen Robinson. But you got him. You got Mooney. You throw Tylan Wallace in there. Maybe you kick Mooney into the slot, or Wallace can play some slot. A-Rob plays slots at times as well. Maybe it's more of a variable offense where receivers move around. Wallace is a big play receiver, though. I mean, he averaged almost 16 yards a catch last year. Like I said, really good after the catch in college, and looked like the guy he was before the ACL injury, which I think is a really, really good sign. Didn't test super well, but I think overall Wallace would be a good fit and really good value here in the third round. So the receiver out of Oklahoma State, who almost had 1,000 yards this past year, in a shortened season in college football. He was a beast in 2018. I think this would be a really, really good selection and a couple of good picks here on the second day of the NFL draft. Here are some other players on the board. Nico Collins, I pondered him for a bit. He's more of a bigger vertical guy out of Michigan. I opted with Tylan Wallace. Dylan Moses, the Alabama linebacker. Jamar Johnson, who I think could be a sneaky target for the Bears. I don't think safety's a major need, but if you're thinking long-term, he could be a pick. Oh, yes, maybe this is the last time we talk about Kellen Mond. He still was available in round 3. And then Jordan Smith, the UAB edge rusher, who a lot of scouts really, really like. So what's the better pick? Dillon Radunz in round 2. Tylan Wallace in round 3. Let me know. Type DR for Radunz, type TW for Wallace. I think they're both good picks. I think this would be a great haul if Pace pulled it off. Obviously, we'll see how the actual day 2 of the draft ends up falling out tonight, but already the Bears are major winners. Get your votes in, DR for Radunz or TW for Wallace. And before we sign off, just a quick reminder, Justin Fields jerseys available at the link below, chatsports.com/Fields1. We got the orange one available. We got the white one available. We got the navy one available. We're pumping them out for you guys because, hey, we want to help you guys out. Chatsports.com/Fields1. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. We also posted it on our community tab on YouTube, so you can find it there. But just hit the link below, chatsports.com/Fields1. That's chatsports.com/Fields1. And as we gear up for the draft tonight, let's just go through Tom Downey's best available prospects real quick as we gear up for the second round. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Tevin Jenkins, a player we talked about on Bears Now. I highly doubt he's there at 52, but if he is, go get him. Landon Dickerson, Christian Barmore, a couple of other guys as well. Asante Samuel Jr., Azeez Ojulari, Trayvon Merrick, a player I watched a lot at TCU at my alma mater. He's a good safety. Samuel Cosme, another tackle. There's a lot of really good talent here on day 2. You got both the Moore receivers, Elijah and Rondale Moore, Nick Bolton, the Missouri linebacker, and then Elijah Molden, the cornerback out of Washington. we're paving up for a fantastic second and third round of the NFL draft, and we'll be live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Rounds 2 and 3 tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got our notifications turned on at Chat Sports, and join us for day 2 of the NFL draft.